Before we get started, we're like like Michael had mentioned, we'll give it a couple more minutes for everybody to kind of jump on. I'll just kind of give you a brief intro of what you guys will be expecting today. First off, my name is Hunter Van Holzen. I'm the factory sales manager here at SDC. I've been here for the better part of 7 years, and have been in this industry no longer than that. So all I know is SDC. I am a in-depth bucket of knowledge when it comes to the SDC product line. I am a triple ADM Atom inspector, so I am certified for ADA compliance on ADA doors. I just pretty much eat, sleep, and breathe electrified hardware. So very thankful to be here with you guys today, and really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to see the solutions that we have here for you. This is going to be, I would say, about 45 to an hour presentation. I'm going to start off with the main solution that everybody's kind of been craving right now, and that's the hands-free solution. Then we'll dive a bit into the automatic operator that is the focal point of that particular system, and that's going to be conducted by our new product development manager and engineer as well. That would be Mauricio Lainez. He's watching in on the conference room there. Guys, go ahead and feel free to type in any questions that you guys might have. We will try to answer them immediately if we can. If there are questions that seem more poignant that multiple people are asking, then we will go ahead and wait until the end and answer those in person for you guys. But yes, please, feel free to do that. And then, any other questions that you guys have at the end, we will, have time for Q&A and stuff like that. So, Michael, do you think should I hang on for a couple more minutes, or would you like me to get started?
Well, actually, you stole all my thunder. So all of y'all have either met or have just recently met on this call, Hunter, who is the inside sales leader. And you're right, he does eat, breathe, eat. Nice family-run business. I've been involved now with, as of today, I'm involved with the third generation of Geringers. So there's a lot to be said for the mom and pop business that makes good in this country.
Amen.
They've been deemed essential. They've created some solutions that will work very well today. This webinar is being recorded. You can find it at adiglobal-distribution.us or .ca/webinars. The SDC folks will reach out to you after this webinar to see if you have questions or needs or thoughts on what you want to do with a project, and they'll help engineer it. I've also got my systems team lead for access control on the phone, Josh Blanford, who will speak later. And with that, Hunter, Mauricio, SDC, welcome. We're glad to have you. The floor is yours.
Hey, thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate that very much. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and enter into the screen share here so you guys can see this presentation as we get rolling here. So this is our solution. Right now in this COVID world that we're living in, we have realized that there is an ideal high demand solution that's gonna, give you the opportunity to really satisfy a lot of needs in this day and age, and that is the hands-free door solution. Never touch a door again. Okay, so in that, what does that entail? So we have our automatic operator, right? Our low energy swing door operator in conjunction with our 474 touchless switch. So we can actually create our own hands-free solution that will actually meet fire and life safety, okay? And if ADA requirements or compliance is needed, we can go ahead and meet that as well. You'll notice in this illustration here to the left, this is our basic solution. So this is going to meet the need to create, a hands-free solution when we are looking at non-latching hardware. So these are going to be passage doors, right? So you might have, your passage door might be anything from a hallway to a hallway, or something maybe like a public bathroom, things of that nature, anywhere that there's not latching hardware. Okay, so this is the basic solution that we have created here, and it has been very, very effective for us in the field. Utilizing that 474 switch, right? This is a wave to open IR sensing technology that has a 5-inch read range, and it does have an illumination on it. So it's going to be a continual state illumination of red, and then when activated, it's going to go ahead and turn green for you. And you'll notice that does come in a single gain or a double gain. Okay, a lot of the end users out there that are receiving these particular applications might ask if this is going to be something that can be wireless. At this time, SDC is working on solutions for that, but because we have a continuous illumination on that, we would not suggest obviously a wireless solution, but there may be possibilities for that in the future. But anyways, this is going to be that piece that really gets you excited. When people are saying, hey, I want to reopen my business, and we're already seeing businesses are getting closed. They were open and, the pandemic got worse and now they're getting closed again. So for reopening businesses, this is a really high demand solution. And this is kind of the main focal point of that is the fact that we don't have to touch the door. So this no touch switch is very important in regards to this particular solution. But what is driving that solution? Right? So in conjunction with this 474 touchless switch, we obviously have the auto operator. So this is the heart and soul of this particular application, right? And the SDC automatic operator, our low energy swing door operator is truly, it stands out. There's very, very easy installation on this. It's a one-man install. And, we're going to go a little bit deeper into that, so I'll just touch on a few points. But basically, this motor assembly on this particular operator sits on tracks. And you can take that motor out, and you can take that back plate and mount it directly to the door. The benefit to that is that you don't have to have two people holding that operator up to actually install it, right? So we can go ahead and just install that back plate. There's pre-drilled holes there, and then there's a set screw, that fixed screw on that back plate that we can then take that motor assembly and slide it through some slotted screw holes to alleviate all that weight, and then we can go in and tack it down with our 4 set screws. Okay, so it's extremely easy to install. Another key feature to that is the fact that we have the single button self-tuning setup. So there's one button on our I/O board that you'll go ahead and just press that down for about 5 seconds. You put a soft stop at the door where you want the door to finish its opening cycle, and it will go ahead and do all of the diagnostics of that particular opening, accounting for door width, door height, size, as far as poundage or any back pressure that might be in the building via HVAC system or what have you. And it will do all those self-diagnostics and tune itself to ADA requirements. That is saving you time and money. And, because you're not having to flip through, LED screens and find different, pages or whatnot, it's going to take a lot of headache out of it for you as well. Again, getting you on and off that job a whole lot quicker. We do have a built-in 1 amp power supply as well. A lot of the other competition out there, they're usually running around 500 milliamps. SDC, and that might even be 12-volt DC, which means that you're limited to what kind of locking hardware you're going to put on that door. SDC is coming out with that 1 amp power supply that's 24 volts DC, so you can power just about any locking hardware that you might have, and access control as well. Okay. We do have the onboard lock sequencing as well. Now, this is really an important thing, guys, right? Because I'm not sure how many of you guys might be familiar with lock sequencing. I'm sure more than not, but just to kind of give you an understanding, to have lock sequencing, you can't have this system without it. If you have locking hardware on the door, we need somewhere for that latch to go. Otherwise, this automatic operator is going to bind up. Right, we're going to have bind issues, so that lock sequencing is going to trigger that latch back, and then it's going to engage our automatic operator, okay, so that we don't have those bind issues. One of the key features to the SDC operator as well, you can't see it in this particular sample because it's a pull arm, but with our push arms, it actually sucks the door in before it engages in its opening cycle, so that you can alleviate any stack pressure that you might have on, say, a strike or something like that. And then again, the hold open feature. So this is a wonderful, wonderful solution, this hands-free, wave to open. But then in your high traffic areas, throwing the automatic operator on there and then keeping it on hold open, right? So that door will remain open all day. Then that way you don't have to worry about, the spread of, you can minimize the spread of infection, minimize the spread of infectious contaminants, things like that, okay? We do have both push, like I had mentioned earlier, we do have both push and pull arms for this particular operator, so we can meet the needs of any particular opening, and that is available in both single and double door applications. Right now, we do have pretty good lead times as far as your single door applications in a standard aluminum finish. For double door applications, if we're going to like the dark bronze, anodized bronze finishes, give us a little extra time. But we are striving to do the best we can to keep those lead times down, because at the end of the day, people want this and they want it now, and everybody wants to reopen. So, we're kind of in emergency crisis mode. We understand that as well, and we're trying to accommodate, you guys as best we can in that, okay? And then, hey, visit our website under the automatic operator, the automatic entry control page. We have a ton of really, really good tools for you guys to use, both, inside and out in the field. As far as data sheets, price list, we have installation videos and instruction and features and benefit videos. Those are really, really key. A lot of people might kind of try to shy away from doing the automatic operators and things like that. I've showed customers and clients the video of it when they've been hesitant, and they're going, wow, that really looks like it's something that I could take on, and that actually just gives you that added benefit and that added margin, to a project that you might be working on. So really neat tools there. And then obviously we also have these comparison charts here as well that kind of stack SDC up against competition and show you guys the features that SDC has compared to some of the others, as well as, the pricing differences, which SDC comes very competitively to the market. So let's build our own hands-free solution. What do we want to do when we walk onto a job site when thinking about COVID compliancy, reopening, and this sort of thing? So we want to qualify the high touch and high traffic doors, right? What doors are we using the most? And what doors do we need to maybe enlighten the customer on that, hey, this might be something you would want to think about? And, entrance doors, bathroom doors, and office doors are all, perfect, entryways and passageways that we would want to consider. Secondly, does it need ADA compliance? Okay, so we can use this door, as a non-ADA compliant door with our touchless switch and the automatic operator, but we want to think a little bit bigger on that. Is this an entry door to a public facility? Do we need ADA compliance? And if so, then SDC has a comprehensive line of ADA compliant solutions for that, as far as our push plates, our bollards, our push panels, and even the vestibule buttons. And in a COVID compliant world like we're in, this coronavirus has got us all freaked out. We have the antimicrobial push plates that we can incorporate into that particular solution. Okay, so we want to be aware of that as well. So, SDC can come through on that particular compliance. So does it need ADA compliance? Your next question you'd want to ask is, does it have access control? Right? And if it does, SDC has, if it needs access control, we have the standalone and network capable solution that we can provide to get them up and running. And if not, hey, no problem at all. Right? But you are going to need a lock, and you're going to need a lock that's obviously electrified in some way, because we're going to need somewhere for that latch to go with the access control. And that's where SDC really hits our home run. I mean, we are retrofit specialists, okay? It's what we do. And again, like I said, I get kind of redundant when I'm saying it, but in this particular environment that we're in now, we have got all this lockdown stuff, and it's wearing masks, wearing gloves, hand sanitizer. This is going to be an immediate now retrofit solution. These are we're talking about systems that are are going into buildings that are already in place. They already have this stuff. Well, SDC has the latch retractions. We have all of the comprehensive retrofit solutions to be able to accommodate in this time and need. Okay, so let's say that it's a public entrance on a glass door. Odds are it's going to have a panic device. We have over 32 different different models that meet all the different manufacturer panic devices on latch retraction. If it's a warehouse, a back door to a warehouse, something like that, hollow metal door, odds are it's going to have a mortise lock in it, and SDC has that motorized mortise lock with latch retraction in it that we can accommodate, so we can actually put those operators on the door, have somewhere for that latch to go, and we can effectively deploy this particular solution. Okay, a lot of you guys are still doing mag locks out there, and we do have a comprehensive line of modular mag locks that we can accommodate for any particular opening. And then again, as far as strikes are concerned, so strikes are great for both front of house or back house or internally in a particular building, right? When I'm talking about a hands-free solution to my customers, to my end users, you name it, I'm thinking a little bit bigger. So I'm thinking, the door might not have to have locking hardware on it, but maybe it's unlocked hardware, right? So it's just latching hardware, like your conference rooms, office rooms, meeting rooms, anything like that. So we still need somewhere for that latch to go, and a strike is a perfect solution to create a hands-free system in your building, okay? And then there is no need for a separate power supply. Again, all of that gets wired right up to the automatic operator there. So SDC is famous for our solutions flyers, and we have obviously created one that is going to be tailored to this particular application. So we have our hands-free door solution flyer here. This is just a really good illustration that kind of puts it in perspective of how this system is going to look and how the system is going to work. It gives you the 1, 2, 3, the how's it done, the what's you need, right? So I kind of look at this as a build of material also, and it also helps me and my guys kind of ask the question even to the end user is, well, you have an operator, do you need the switch, do you need ADA compliance, do you need access control, do you need a lock? It kind of gives you that reminder, right? So didn't think about this. This is kind of one of those things that's going to teach you to kind of start thinking in a mentality of a full system solution all the way around, okay, and really help the customer in every way, shape, and form that they might not have even thought about, and then you bring it to their attention, and boom, you've got that extra. You've got that extra piece. So we have that for all of the different solutions. You'll notice here, as far as the Z7600 and mag locks and strikes. So, we have all of that material ready and available for you. Walking your jobs, let us do all the legwork, okay? You guys walk the job, or, whatever it may be, coming up to a door, go ahead and download our app. On our app, we do have what's called Door Snap. It's right up on the main page as soon as you enter into our app. And what this allows you to do is when you're walking a job, you go ahead and take up to three pictures of that particular opening. There's a comment section in there. Go ahead and let us know what you're planning on doing with it. Do you need a hands-free solution? Do you need access control? Do you need, locking hardware? Do I need a full system? And go ahead and hit submit, and SDC will do a full build of material for you with, links, pricing, list pricing, lead times. We'll basically take all the legwork out, both in-house and in the field, right? So that you guys don't have to do anything, and then you can turn that directly into, your particular favorite guy at ADI, and they'll go ahead and send us that PO, and we'll get that out to you ASAP. So this is a extremely helpful tool, again, both for the inside guys and for out in the field, and that is compatible with both Apple and Android devices. You can use any of your pads and whatnot to get on that. And what other doors does this work for? So, this works for a lot of different applications. It's up to you guys to get creative and really start kind of thinking outside of the box. Again, in this pandemic that we're dealing with, people are scared, and, they don't want to be spreading, infectious contaminants. They don't want to be doing this stuff. They want to be as clean and sterile as possible, if you will. So it's getting creative and educating the customer to saying, hey, if we really want to reopen this business, we got to be thinking, outside of the box, and we got to really implement and that is going to be viable for not just now, but for the unforeseen future. We don't know how long this is going to go, but we do, we're already seeing it taken off crazily, is that we want to this is going to be around for a while. This is going to be something that's going to change the way we do things, so it's not going anywhere. Would highly suggest to visit the SDC website, sdcsecurity.com/handsfree. We have all of our PDFs available for you. I'm going to go ahead and take you through a quick tour of the website. So we have geared our website as of late to really hone in on the hands-free solution. We think that, like I said, it's just taken off. So you'll notice we've got the banners under our buttons and bollards. You'll notice if I go here again, we have that banner. And then obviously our switches, we go down here and we have our hands-free solution right there. You'll notice even if we go to the automatic entry control page, here again is where we'll find, that hands-free solution, which I'll take you to shortly. This is also where you're going to find the features and benefits videos and the installation videos via YouTube. And then you'll also find the comparison charts as well. Okay, so just to let you know where those are. Even if you go into our main page here, you'll notice, boom, we've got the hands-free solution. If we click in on that banner, it's going to take us to our landing page, and this is where we're going to find all of the tools that we need, to create an educated understanding of this solution. So we've got our flow chart here. All of this is hot linked. If I click on this, it's going to take us right back to those push buttons. If I click on the locking hardware, access control, it's going to take us to the access control page. Okay, and then if I click on any of the locking hardware, it's going to set you up to get you one of these PDFs to a solutions flyer that's going to show you what you're going to need for that. So very, very easy to find the information that you guys need. And and then actually I'll just show you really quickly as well, is even if we scroll down to the bottom, again, we've got every single PDF here that's located for download. And then if you want to, educate some other people too, we've got this particular presentation that I've started off on right now. This one goes a little bit differently. It's a little bit more in depth, but we're kind of doing a combo here. So you can actually download that presentation, show your customers, get them educated, get them interested, and those, like I said, those tools are readily available for you there. So without further ado, we're going to get a little bit into the auto operator, kind of dig in on this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and step out. I'm going to introduce Mauricio Lainez. He is our product development manager, and he is one of our lead engineers in all of the products that are coming out, stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and let him come in and say his piece on this. These lights are warm.
Okay, I hope everybody can hear me okay. Thank you, Hunter, and thanks again to Michael for putting this together. I'm gonna go ahead and get it, like Hunter said, get a little more in depth on the auto operator. This is a presentation that normally takes maybe about an hour, but so I'm gonna run through it pretty quick here, so we have plenty of time for questions at the end. And also just want to remind everybody, if you have a question along the way, go ahead and click on the Q&A box and go ahead and enter it there, and that way we can address all the questions at the end. So a little more about our operator. Hunter kind of touched on this previous to COVID. The main application for our operator was primarily ADA solutions, and just hands-free convenience. And now, obviously, for basically to maintain hygiene and to keep people from touching the door, our shift is kind of focused towards those applications. But really, it can be used at any of these facilities that you see here. Choosing an operator, really the main point of this slide is really just to say that not all operators are created equal. You may there's a lot of competition out there. Some may be priced lower than what we're selling our operator at, but we feel that we've integrated a lot of features in this operator that allow it to be a very robust solution. For example, like it says, how frequently are they used? Our operator is rated for high traffic use. It'll take the abuse of people walking in and manually opening a door day in and day out. It's security an issue, and we've also taken steps to make it so our operator can be easily integrated with existing access control systems. And again, those aren't always features that are implemented in every operator. One of the things I want to talk about shortly, fairly quickly here is about the ANSI standard 156.19, which for some of you that may not know is the standard which governs low energy operators. And here's this slide kind of highlights some of the features that are mentioned in that standard. I'm going to touch a little bit on each one of these. First, the main point is that on a lower energy operator, the operator needs to be activated by a knowing act, meaning that somebody just can't walk up to the operator or to the door and the door opens automatically. The opening cycle needs to be initiated by the user, either by, in this case, a hand wave or a push plate or a card reader, something to that effect. And that is per the standard. The opening and the closing speeds need to be set to a certain amount of time or longer. And again, that's basically for the low energy application. The hold open time needs to be set. It has to be at least 5 seconds, again, to allow for plenty of time for somebody to go through the door. Another important thing is it is a low energy application, so the operating force, the force at the door when a door encounters an obstruction cannot exceed 15-pound force at 1 inch from the edge of the door. And our operator again has obstruction detection, so and it can be adjusted so that when it senses an obstruction, it'll open up again. Per ANSI 117.1, there are certain requirements that need to be met for ADA compliance in terms of how close the button can be to the door swing, and the maximum distance it can be from the door. Again, you don't want to be more than 5 feet. Typically, you don't want to be more than 5 feet away because you want the ability for somebody to get through the door without the door starting to close on them. And then there's also very specific signage that needs to be on the door on one or both sides of the door, indicating that the door is an automatic door, so somebody doesn't stand near the door and linger towards the door. And then also there needs to be some sort of signage near the button or near the switch to say, hey, you've got to initiate the opening cycle. Some additional considerations. Hunter mentioned AAA-DM, which is the certification for inspection of both low and high energy operators. One thing I will say that we recommend that all operators are installed by somebody that is certified, and most companies that do these types of installations will have one or all of their installers certified. It's not necessarily required for low energy. It is required for high energy, but not required for low energy operators, but it's still something we recommend. Now I'm going to get into some of the basic features, and I know Hunter already touched on some of these. So our units are non-handed, so they can be applicable for both pull and push applications. You see the different applications here for double doors, but the same applies for single door openings as well. And we do standard lengths for the singles are 36, 42, and 48 inches, and then you double that for the pair of doors. It is a surface mounted operator, and it's applicable for hinge hung doors or center pivoted doors. Just a little bit about our part numbers and how our part numbers are sort of generated. Basically, all our operators start with the word auto. The first number indicates whether it's a push or a pull, typically operator. Then we specify the size of the opening, and then we specify the finish. We do have two finishes available. The standard is the clear aluminum finish, and we also have a dark bronze available. One thing to note, the whether you order a push or a pull, the motor drive unit is the exact same drive unit. So if for some reason you ordered a push, you get it out on job and you realize that it's not gonna work as a push and you need to install it as a pull, it's the exact same drive unit, and you just need to basically get another arm instead of the push arm. But the drive unit will be exactly the same. Some of the other features and benefits. It is an electromechanical operator as opposed to an electro-hydraulic operator, which depends on the. So an electro-hydraulic operator will assist on the open, and then it relies on spring tension to close it. Whereas the electromechanical operator assists both on the opening and the closing, which can be critical in certain applications where there's, say, some sort of stack pressure that on the door as it closes. Like I mentioned earlier, it is rated for high traffic use, and not every when you look around for an operator, if you anticipate that the door is going to be a high traffic door, you really want to do your research there. As far as door capacity, we can do up to 438 pounds on a 36-inch door, which would cover most applications. And the standard housing that we sell for the operator is 3 inches greater than the opening width. So if you have a 36-inch opening like the one in the picture here, you're going to have a 39-inch housing. That's the standard length. And also for the pair doors, it's gonna cover the full length of the pair doors. One of the questions we get quite a bit is, well, say I have a pair of doors and I only want to automate one of the doors. We can do that as well, and so you can still have the full length housing and only have one drive unit to automate the one door. Like Hunter mentioned earlier, we do have that 1 amp power supply, that 1 amp plus actually power supply, and then that's really a key feature because it allows us to sequence not just a mag lock or a strike, but we can do our latch retraction mortise. We can do all our latch retraction kits for panic bars. We're able to use that same power supply, so no separate power supply required, and the operator does all the sequencing as well. The easy setup self-tuning button. This is a feature that is really rare. A lot of the other manufacturers out there will use some sort of menu that you have to get into, and which can take a little more time, and whereas this is just really you're pressing a button, and probably 98% of the installations, as soon as it does its setup, you can literally you can wire in your buttons and walk away. Don't know why that came up. Also one of the other features is the common features are configurable using dip switches and potentiometers. So we have several potentiometers and dip switches, again, to make the programming, any kind of fine tuning easier for the installer, so then he doesn't have to go in any kind of programming menus to do that. You can just flip a dip switch or adjust a potentiometer. And Hunter kind of touched a little bit about electric strike applications. The operator will pull back momentarily to relieve any kind of pressure on an electric strike, so it doesn't bind. Our operator, just as far as testing number of cycles, our operator has been tested to 1.3 million cycles, which is way beyond what the ANSI standard recommends. We do have a 3-year warranty, and that's on the complete operator. And to my knowledge, I don't know that anybody else offers a 3-year warranty on the complete operator. And the list price itself is very competitive. And everything ships here from our factory here in Camarillo, California. The operator mounting, again, Hunter said this is a one-man installation. It can be a one-man installation. Basically, we have a housing that has 4 removable or sliding bolts, and then we have one fixed bolt. And what you see here at the top here is the back of the drive unit. So that drive unit basically mounts, can mount to this fixed bolt. So the installer can put it up there and then slide it into that fixed bolt, and then basically let it go, and then screw in those other 4 bolts to keep it fixed. I talked a little bit about our dip switches. I'm not going to go into every dip switch here, but one of the, like for example, our dip switch 4, which is is push and go. That seems to be a very common feature where, you know, you manually start opening the door a little bit, and then the operator takes over and assists the rest of the way. That seems to be a very common feature. And again, there's no programming involved. It's literally just a flip of a dip switch and it turns it on. And also a power close is another common feature where it adds, I was talking about adding some additional force. In this case, it's the last 10 degrees of the closing. It will add additional force to overcome any kind of stack pressure. And again, it's just a flip of a dip switch that's involved. Several inputs and outputs available. Want to just touch upon, we have 2 separate inputs, one for an internal activation button and one for an external activation button. And depending on the mode of the operator, you may have both of these active all the time, or you say after hours you only want that internal button to be active and not the external button to be active. We have a series of diagnostic lights on our input-output board, which kind of tells us the status of the inputs and outputs, and it's a great troubleshooting tool, basically for an installer to make sure that his sensors are working properly. So for example, if he had a sensor wired in and he pushes the button, this diagnostic light is going to turn on saying, "Hey, I received a signal." And if he's having issues with the sensor, then it'll tell us that as well. Like I mentioned or alluded to earlier, we do have an onboard sequencer, and that's what this electric lock relay is. So that's where we would tie in our maglock or our strike or our latch retraction device, so we can sequence it with our operator. And the time is adjustable. So a strike, I just need that. I maybe just need a little bit of time to release first before the operator goes, whereas a latch retraction device may need a second or 2 longer to fully retract the latch, and then the operator opens. So that is adjustable. And we've also got a door status switch on the operator. And I talked a little bit about the 24-volt DC output that's available from the operator. So we have a set of potentiometers again. When I was talking about the ANSI standard, I talked about the opening times and the closing times having to be set to a certain amount, and they can easily be adjusted using these potentiometers. Again, no programming, which saves time. And again, this board will also have a certain amount of diagnostic lights to help troubleshoot problems. There's 2 buttons on the outside of the housing. One is the main on and off switch, and it's illuminated, so that'll tell you if there's power going to the operator. It does require a high voltage input of 115 volts AC. And that's tied into the operator. And then the second switch is our mode control switch, which is a 3-position switch that's kind of typical in the industry. You have an automatic mode. You can turn it off or put it in night mode. And there's also a hold open mode. So I flip that switch and the door stays open indefinitely until I flip the switch back. And just one example of a wiring example, one of many that we have available. But this kind of shows you how you would wire in a wireless button with a latch retraction device. And again, there's no separate power supply required. Everything is sequenced and powered from the operator itself. Hunter talked a little bit about already talked, I think, enough about the web page and all the available resources that are on that web page. One of the, I'm going to get into some accessories now, and one of the accessories that is available is a door-mounted presence sensor. This isn't a sensor that opens the door, but it's a sensor that once the door is opened, if it senses somebody coming through the opening, will keep the door open, and so the door doesn't close on somebody, and that is an optional sensor. And again, this is a sensor that is powered by the operator, so I don't need a separate power supply to power this sensor. We also have different key switches available. So these switches are meant to act like the 3-position switch that's on the operator. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to reach, or maybe the user doesn't want everybody to have access to that switch. So you would install another switch located maybe on the wall or on the mullion. The key switch is obviously a little more secure than the rocker switch, which anybody can flip. We also have a full line of ADA compliant buttons, all of which can be either hardwired or configured as wireless. Hunter touched upon the antimicrobial buttons that are available. And we also have vestibule switches available for vestibule applications. And we also have bollards available with single button mounting or full length buttons available. And again, the wireless transmitter and receiver, the receiver does not need a separate power supply. It can be powered by that same 24-volt DC power supply. And we also have a couple of kits that we sell, so that way you order an operator, you order a kit, and you basically have the full everything you need to automate a door. And here in California, we have to comply to CBC standards, which say that you need a high and a low button to activate an operator. So you can either go with a high-low kit, like something like this, or you can go with that full-length button that you saw on the previous slide. And that's pretty much it for my part. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Josh with the systems group, and we'll be available for questions here shortly.
Okay, thanks guys. Thanks Hunter, thanks Mauricio for that presentation that you guys put together. I'll go ahead and agree with Mike. SDC is a great partner with ADI, has been for a long time. Their service and their support, not only for us but for our customers, is one of the best in the industry. Also want to say thanks to Mike Maston for getting these presentations put together over the last couple months, 3 months now, I guess. They've been extremely beneficial to us, and we've gotten great feedback from our customers. My name is Josh Blandford. I'm the supervisor for the systems team here in Louisville, Kentucky for access control, video surveillance, and networking. If you're not using our services, what we do is kind of work on the pre-sale side of things. So we'll help put together a bill of materials, whether that's from the very beginning to the end, everything that you need for it, or something like this where you're doing something that may be new, something maybe a little more niche. We have been trained on these products. Myself and my team are all familiar with them. Happy to help you in any way that we can. You can find our information on our website. You can find it on LinkedIn. You can find it on Facebook, various different places. And we service not only the United States, but we also have a team for our fellows up in Canada and also down in Puerto Rico. So anything that we can do for you on our side, we would be happy to talk to you, happy to work with you, and see if we can drive some more sales. So Hunter, Mauricio, I'll give it back to you guys. Appreciate it.